Hey YouTube, how's it going? Today we got a multi-tool review for you. It is the SOG powerlock. It is... Let's start off with specs because I always have ADD and lose track and forget to do them. It is, when it's closed, it's about 4.5 to 4 3/4 inch. When it's open, it's it is just around, so that's in focus. It is just around 7.5, just around just under 7 inches open. And one thing that that SOG really likes to brag about with this, which I can tell you it works well, is the compound the gear leverage. You know, compound gear leverage. What that means in layman's terms is, if you look at the jaws here, it's got what look like the gears. When you open it, the pliers are attached to them. What that means is you can apply a lot less force on the handles and get a lot more results. So it makes, you know, if you cut wire with it, it's a lot easier. If you use the pliers, one thing I really like with these is the tips on the pliers are tapered. I mean, that's something that's not hard to do, but that works great. Like, I've got a Leatherman fuse, I think it is, and it's just abrupt. It's an abrupt tip, and I like how it's taped because it's easy to get in small spaces with them. And what's nice about the compound gear leverage is if you want to open it up and re-grab it, it works well. Actually, I'm going to grab the Leatherman I have out of the box and explain what I mean by that. Alright, Leatherman. Now that's a box with a SOG holster. It's an old holster. Leatherman. There we go. Alright, put this back in the box. Move that switchblade out of the way. Alright, here's the Leatherman I was talking about. It's, you know, I used to carry it all the time. It's a Leatherman fuse. But with the pliers, what I meant was, you see how it's just an abrupt tip? I mean, let's compare that with the powerlock here. On the right I have powerlock, on the left I got the fuse. Here it's an abrupt angle tip. For here it's tapered, so it's easy to use. But I don't know about you, but there's a lot of times I use a Leatherman where I'm gripped onto something, I'm gripped on tight, and I gotta open these up. And most of the time, what happens? This right here. You try to open it and it pops like this, and you're like, God damn it, and you gotta put it back, and it's just a pain in the neck. One thing I like with the SOG is that won't happen because of the compound gear leverage. If you're locked onto something and you open these up, the pliers are gonna open. Now, these also have wire crimpers down here, and wire, I believe it's a wire stripper. Up here we have the wire cutters and a wire stripper at the bottom. This actually used to have scales on these holes here. These here are actually for handle covers, which make using the pliers a little more comfortable. But every time you want to get in the tools, every time you want to use the tools, you gotta lift the covers up and then find the tool and then close the cover. So I just yanked it off. This is the powerlock with the V cutter here. It's got the V cutter. Oh, and by the way, all the tools lock in. It has a little lock on the back, locks all the tools, and half the time I gotta press it in. But, you know, it's an alright lock for what it is. Has the V cutter. I haven't had to use it yet. Has a 1/4 inch the driver bit, which just lets you attach the ratchets, not ratchets, the nut wheel drivers onto here and use this as a wrench. I haven't had to use that yet. It's got, most of the tools actually have a little slot here that works as a nail nick. It's got the bottle opener with a medium flat head. It has the knife on this handle, which is it's the combo edge, again with the hole. The blade is chisel ground, only one side is sharpened. See, only one side is sharpened here. The serrations are the same way. The serrations are not bad, I will say that. The knife works pretty well. And onto the other handle, we've got a three-sided file. We got one side here, which is like a rough, coarse grind. The other side is a little, it's not as rough, and we've also got one here, which is going to be a pain to focus on. Okay, why not? Which, it's alright. We got can opener with a small screwdriver on the edge. You know, standard in most multi-tools. We've also got here, I'm just gonna I'll do this to make it easier. Yeah, that's actually one problem I have with this, is if I want, say, the saw and I just grab the saw, almost all the tools come out with it. And I gotta push them down to get it up. But that actually works because I want to get these out. Okay. Let's put that saw away for a second. By the way, if I go off frame, I apologize. I still am working with the camera angles. I have to get a good tripod I can use over my shoulder, but you know, I'm trying. So over here we have a larger screwdriver. It's pretty much just a screwdriver with a little thing here, which I'm not sure what that's for. We also have an awl here, which this awl is actually pretty pointy. The edges are kind of abrupt, but the point on this, it's pretty useful. Then we've also, on this handle, we also have a saw, which this saw is aggressive. I've used it to cut through half-inch on the PVC pipe. It looks pretty nasty, I will say that. It looks pretty good. It works really well. It works on the forward and the backstroke, which is great. I mean, you can tell this thing, it means the business. And you know, what's nice is also, if you gotta work like under you, you can just open this up about halfway, lock the pliers on it, and just work like this, and it'll work. It works well. It does have a little lanyard loop on the screw here, which I have it in the holster for the Buck 110. So it was a hard. When it's in there, it is tight. So I would have to grab it and like wrestle it out. So I just attached maybe 3 inches, an inch or 2 of Spectra line. By the way, I love this line. It is 90-pound line, so it's strong enough for most tasks. And it's an overhand knot and a loop onto the lanyard hole, and it's in the holster. I can just reach over, grab the line, and just yank it out much easier. I mean, if you have to use this in self-defense, you could, you know, with the gears, but I would not recommend it. And then it has a measurement inches on the handles here, which it actually works if you open it up flat. It goes up to it goes to 3 here, and it stops and right here it starts getting into 6. So from here to here is 3 inches, and that goes up to 9 inches. Which, you know, it's nice that they added it on there because it's easy to do. So I do appreciate that, SOG. You did well with this, and for that I gotta tell you, I love carrying this every day. I mean, yeah, it's a little heavier, but I love it. Anyways, that's all for now, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one, guys.